Hi, I'm Jonathan Dupree and welcome to our very first Mondays in Motion. Now the goal of these videos are simply to share some inspiring stories, strategies, leadership principles, personal growth principles, universal laws that can help you to close the gap in moving from where you are to where you want to be. And so I thought for the very first Mondays in Motion, I would share a principle straight out of one of my favorite books, 25 Ways to Win with People, and by John Maxwell. Now, I want to start with the very first principle in 25 Ways of Winning with People, and that first principle is start with yourself. And here's the reality. If you want to close the gap to move from where you are to where you want to be, then you have to begin with yourself. You have to start with you. Look right in the mirror if the person's staring back at you, and that's where you got to start. See, here's the reality. The reality is a lot of times we want to change things around us, people around us. We want to change of environment. We think maybe we need to change companies or change people we hang out with. Sometimes we really do. But the reality is we don't need a change. We need to change. And you do that by starting with yourself. I read a great quote and it said, "You get the best out of others when you give the best of yourself." So if you want to get the best out of others, you have to start with being the best yourself. Because if your best that you have right now to offer to others isn't any better than what they already have or where they already are, then you'll never be able to bring them further than where they currently are. You cannot give what you do not have. So you've got to start with yourself. And I want to share just a few quick principles from the 25 Ways of Winning with People. And the first is recognize your value. You are valuable. You're powerful beyond measure. The creator of the universe created you. Think about that. Let that sink in. And when the creator created you, he created you with a purpose. And some of us haven't recognized that value yet. And so the first step in starting with yourself is to recognize that you are valuable, that you were created with a purpose, and that you bring value to others. I had the opportunity to speak at Lamar University. And while I was there, I got to take a tour of the Spindletop Museum. And the Spindletop Museum tells a story of a family who was going broke during the Great Depression, and they were selling off chunks of their land, and an oil company came to them and said, "We believe that there's oil on your property and we'd like to drill for it." And they started drilling and they struck Spindletop, the largest single producing oil well in the United States. And the guy was an instant millionaire. But was he really? I mean, the oil had been there the whole time. He just didn't recognize it yet. They just hadn't discovered it yet. And within all of us, there's a Spindletop waiting to explode, waiting to be discovered. So first step in starting with yourself is recognize your value. The second step is to accept your value. A lot of times we can become aware that we're valuable, that we bring value to others, that we bring value to the marketplace, and yet it makes us uncomfortable. We get out of our comfort zone. So accept your value. And then the third step is to increase your value. If you want to influence those around you, if you want to constantly bring out the best in others, if you want to constantly give your very best, then you have to always work at increasing your value. See, the reality is you work harder on yourself than you do in your business. And if you do that, your business will flourish. Your relationships will flourish. Opportunities will be all around you. So you increase your value by being intentional in your growth plan. Attend the conferences, read the books, listen to the CDs. Surround yourself with high-level people. That's how you increase your value. And then finally, believe in your value. As you start to recognize your value and accept your value and increase your value, it's important to believe in your value. Sometimes we need others to believe in us before we can believe in us. And I want you to know this morning that I believe in you. I believe that you were created with a purpose. I believe that you are powerful beyond measure. I believe that you are extremely valuable and you've got so much to give to those around you, to those in your industry, to those in your office, to those in your family, to those simply in your life. So be one who empowers others by giving the best of themselves. And you do that by always striving to become the very best. So before you change the world, change yourself. Start with you. I'll look forward to seeing you on the next Mondays in Motion.